La Merienda was started in 1929 by members of the Monterey community. La Merienda, loosely translated in Spanish, means late or mid-afternoon supper or picnic. It's a time of gaiety, music, and everybody in the community comes together. The Merienda was started in 1929. 2 years later, the Monterey History and Art Association was founded by these same people. Every year since then, we've held the Merienda the first Saturday in June. We usually have about 400 to 500 people. We all get together at the Memory Gardens just off the Custom House Plaza here in Monterey. We have music. There's a court which has a La Favorita, the doncellas, her escorts, and the dueña. These people are drawn from the community without regard to politics or wealth. These people are representative of what has made Monterey what it is, an incredible mecca of spirit and community. The Merienda procession starts from the Perry Downer House, where it did until Perry Downer House was sold just last year in 2010. This year we're going to be starting from the lobby of the newly reopening Monterey History and Art Association Museum of Monterey. But about 11:30 in the morning, La Favorita Court, as well as dignitaries from around the area, the heads of the various armed services departments, the Naval Postgraduate School, the Defense Language Institute, the Coast Guard, we parade with them around the harbor front here and then come into the front gate at the Memory Gardens, meet there at noon, and then there is a procession. We wind our way through the Memory Gardens among the tables of the attendees and then go up on the stage, and there's an invocation said by a bishop of the Catholic Church. At that point, the court is presented. La Favorita and her escorts, the dueña and the doncellas, are presented, and the Master of Ceremonies presides over this, introducing people, and then we all sit down and there's entertainment. Hunter Fennell is the MC this year, and he has been the last few years. He calls off the tables one by one. All the table numbers are drawn out of a hat, and they proceed over to the barbecue area. The barbecue crew, this year headed by Peter Caniglio, and he's been the head of the barbecue crew for a number of years now, going back probably at least a couple decades. Leon Panetta has been there. We have local dignitaries, as I said, local politicians, Board of Supervisors, Monterey County. This year, Jane Parker and Dave Potter will be attending. Sam Farr, Mr. Monning. We also invite the Mexican and Spanish consuls from San Jose and San Francisco. So it's a celebration of our Spanish and our Mexican heritage here. We have a lot of fun. This year we're having the Mike Murata Band. His father, Mike Sr., has played numerous times here. Mike Jr. heads up the band, the Mike Murata Band, and they play for about 45 minutes. And for some reason, it's always sunny the day of the Merienda. I remember several years ago, the day was overcast, medium fog hung over, and about an hour before the Merienda, there suddenly appeared an opening right over the Memory Gardens, and we had streaming sunlight the whole time. At about 4 o'clock, for some reason, that hole closed up. But for that day, we had incredible sunlight, and we all had a really good time. I'd like to read a section of the book that was produced by the Monterey History and Art Association for its 75th anniversary 5 years ago. This year we're celebrating our 80th anniversary. La Merienda takes place on the Saturday nearest to June 3rd, the day in 1770 on which Padre Junípero Serra, father of the California missions, and Captain Gaspar de Portola, a Spanish military leader, joined forces to establish the Pueblo of Monterey, California's first capital. The first modern Merienda was celebrated in 1929, 2 years before the formation of the Monterey History and Art Association. A ceremony at Carlton Hall and a small luncheon at the Memory Garden marked the occasion. It was presided over by Carmel Martin and Harry Green. The next year, 350 people joined Carmel Martin, who again acted as Master of Ceremonies in the Memory Garden and once again celebrated Monterey's birthday. A story in the Monterey Herald recorded that the happy group joined in a gala fete amid surroundings that recreated in vivid fashion the scenes of beauty and romance traditional of early California. Memory Garden, with its sun-bathed walls and profusion of blooms, its sparkling fountains and its rustic pergola, its balconies and other features so typical of the city whose origin was being celebrated again, resounded to the tinkle of guitars, the soft syllables of the Spanish tongue, and the low-voiced laughter of handsome senors and lovely senoritas, while true Spanish viands graced the tables, made colorful by linen of varied tints. It was in 1939 that a lovely senorita was chosen to reign over the festivities for the first time. A long line of senoritas, usually with family history back to old California, has graced the Mirienda every year since. With local musicians and dancers and good food and fellowship, the Merienda has always been a favorite Monterey celebration. In 1940, the Herald reported, with a gay song, a smile, and a toss of her pretty head, Monterey today celebrated her 170th birthday. No dark-eyed senorita could have been the recipient of more compliments or blushed more prettily.